Alrighty, good morning everybody. How's everybody doing on this fantastic day? Today is Thursday, the 13th of August, and we are in the middle of the dog days of summer. So the markets are super boring, super slow. The volumes yesterday, and we even had news yesterday that everybody was waiting on. The news amounted to nothing, but yesterday, at the end of the day, the S&P 500 traded less than 1 million contracts. It's literally insanity how thin the markets are out there right now. It's been a long time since I can remember the markets being this slow. But it's not just Bitcoin and crypto. It's literally across the board. Things are happening out there right now. Currently, we have fresh year lows on the VIX. It's the lowest the VIX has been all year. Yesterday. Today, you are currently heading back down there. Oh, sorry. Is this on the daily? Yeah, daily. Okay, good. Today, you are currently retesting that. So right there's your yearly open. That was the low of the year. You took that out yesterday. Clearly, we went lower in 2025, but this year, we're at the lows. Good stuff. I mean, it's not good stuff. It sucks. It's slow. Very slow out there. Copper moving up today. As long as that continues, I would expect gold to rally. You got to pull back today on gold. I was unable to get positioned on it. I am currently looking at it here. If we do trade down to like 43.38 today on gold, I'm going to be looking for a long there if that holds. The only way I'd be looking to short the S&P or the NASDAQ today is if for whatever reason the VIX just flat out refuses to trade under yesterday's low. That's it. Other than that, I think you're probably going to see a breakout pretty soon. We go over here and look at the daily time frame on the NASDAQ or the micro contracts. We're not going to trade the big contracts just yet. You got a higher close yesterday. It took out resistance. You got higher lows here on the daily. It looks like it's trying to break out. It really hasn't pulled back. I guess you could say that at 8 was a decent pullback. It's twice this week I've tried to get long on this and have not gotten my limit filled. I had a limit buy at 805. It is what it is. This morning we also took a trade on pound dollar. Let's go take a look at that because that is still here, still in play here. So I have a long dollar bias right now. So it doesn't really make sense. This is the wrong chart. Here, let's do this. I have a long dollar bias, so I understand it doesn't really make sense to be looking for long pound dollar trades if you think the dollar is going higher. Well, here's the thing. I have on literally every position that I have on right now is situated for dollar long. This trade, I just took profits on it again this morning, and for whatever reason, it raised my cost basis up just for taking profits. I had 2,000 units long from yesterday. It brought my cost basis up to about 157.94, and then exiting 1,000 units to take profit today. For some reason, it brought my cost basis up. So this is likely going to get stopped out, but I will be looking to reposition for long. But anyways, we'll see what happens. But here's the trade on pound dollar this morning. And see where I got positioned. I would expect that to continue. Here's the longer time frame charts. You're above the yearly opening range here. You can see on the weekly time frame, this is one of the prettiest head and shoulders patterns I've ever seen. And you have a confirmed neckline break with this weekly close. That weekly close also gave you yearly opening range close above. Now, the year trend for the year for this year, 2026, you have been making lower yearly lows. That has been the trend. So it could still head lower. If you look at the moving average structure, your 21 is above the 50, 50 above the 100, 100 above the 200. That's bullish. And then if you come over here and look at the daily, because you've been in this sideways chop for like 100 days, your moving average is just starting to break out to bullish, with the 21 actually getting above everything here and starting to move higher. Obviously, resistance sits at about one spot, 35603. That would be my primary take profit target. I would take profits before you got there. But anyways, we look to buy prior day lows or retests into those areas. And essentially that's what you got here. This morning, your London session had you setting the low of day. And then London session, late London session, the buyer showed up, getting you back above June's high. So as long as you're above June, well, not necessarily June's high, but because we're in August now. So July's high is going to be a lot more important. Right here is last week's high. So essentially, if we get above that today, you're trending to the upside. Could you watch that area for a short? I mean, you could. Yeah, you could. If you refuse to trade above that this morning, then I would say you're probably going to see maybe a little bit of downside. But I think with all this support under you, that the best trade on this is to the upside. Looking at the daily and weekly time frames, everything looks good. We're expecting the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to potentially head higher today. So dollar week, we'll see what happens. Bitcoin has done absolutely nothing. It looks like it's trying to hold support here at last week's open. This is where we would want to see Bitcoin hold support. So crucial area for Bitcoin to hold support. We'll see if it can. You've been trading as an inside day yesterday, and today you're inside yesterday. So you're an inside range. You're buying the day open. You're targeting yesterday's high. I guess if you're a seller in this market, you're looking for shorts around 63,921. Sellers are in control of the aggression. I wouldn't say that they are in control of order flow. They were in control of order flow. You've got lower highs here on the 30 minutes. So to be fair, you could argue that the sellers have been in control of this market. The last 4 days, you have seen clear sell side pressure. The sellers have been more aggressive. So yeah, I would probably assume that continues. I'm not really looking to trade Bitcoin. It's literally sideways. I have 2 trades open on Bitcoin. These 2 trades have been open for so long. I have a short on, I have a long on. There's nothing more I can do here. I'll pull it up so you can see just how I am positioned. For anybody that's new, I also own Bitcoin in cold storage. But the short's up here, the long's right there. We're pretty much right in the middle of that range. It is what it is. I mean, the sellers are being paid. I've not taken profits on this trade, and I've made $58 just to set in it. So, I mean, it's anybody's guess what this is going to do. I actually think the best thing, if you're looking for a play on crypto right now, I think the best near-term setup is on Ethereum. I'm going to show you why. So here is the 4-hour. Let's go out to the daily. So this is a Bollinger Band indicator with percentile. It's showing it to us via an oscillator instead of having the Bollinger Bands up here on price. It's the same thing. If you pull the Bollinger Bands up, you'll see. Let's delete this. You can see how the bands are narrowing, right? They're squeezing into each other. That's a squeeze play. You just have zero volatility. So the longer that goes on, the more chances you're going to see a vol spike. So you could literally be buying daily support here, anticipating a vol spike to the upside. You could also be selling resistance. You're not into resistance where you currently are right now. But anyways, I mean, it's only a matter of time at this point. You've been signaling a vol squeeze since the 10th of August. 3 days. 1, 2, 3. You're on day 4. Eventually, volatility is going to spike to the upside. This is a delta neutral indicator. So it does not put any weighting on longs or shorts. So when vol spikes, price can go up or down. But a move is coming. A move is coming. All right, so if we go look at the last time that you got a vol spike squeeze signal, nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. And then volatility stayed dead for about a week, week and a half later. And then you triggered a new signal. And then this one actually, you didn't get the spike or the squeeze signal until May the 8th. You actually saw 3 days of upside. This is what transpired after. This is what I'm looking for. Because I've been so hemmed up in this market and have not been able to catch any moves either up or down. I am wanting to see a big move. Obviously, up would be better than down, but I don't care. I really don't. Be very cautious. Make sure you're using risk. Make sure you have stop losses out because the spike could be violent. And then again, it could just whip out the upside and then dump, or vice versa. You could get a dump and then rally. So it could be a difficult trade. But there is a move coming. A move is coming soon. If we look at our moving averages, you can see that you are currently holding support at the 50-day exponential moving average. This is very constructive. The only issue is you haven't made any higher highs. So there really is no directional signal here. The 100 is acting as resistance. Very tight range here. Very tight range. You're still trading under the 21-week exponential. So longer term, I can see why people are still so bearish on this. I gotta be honest, the sellers haven't been able to do anything for quite some time here on Ethereum. Almost feels like sell-side exhaustion to me. So I would be more prone to look for the bullish break here. Especially since risk markets are literally at all-time highs. Right? But we do have the macro backdrop more supportive of a dollar bull positioning. So it is kind of just a wonky market out there right now. All right, what is the VIX doing? Okay, so the VIX is currently pushing lower. ES also trying to push here. You are oversold. I mean, overbought. Literally on the small time frames. I'm pretty sure you're getting close to overbought on all time frames here. But I mean, that's not a really good reason to sell. You're not overbought on the daily yet. Yeah, I mean, I could see this thing break out and head higher for the rest of the week. Resistance on the SPOOs, 77.94. Obviously, if you have a bearish bias, you do not want to see price pushing above that. If you are long, there's your PPI news you got this morning. didn't really account for anything. So it come in under expectations. So slight beat there. Yeah, I think Ethereum is going to be the best one to play for the upside. Now, the last 4-hour candle that you got, let's kill these moving averages. We really don't look at them under the daily. The 4-hour moving average structure is still bullish. So to be honest with you, as long as you're not closing 4-hour candles under 1876, that's probably about where I'd be looking for positioning. 1873 if you get a push down there during the New York session today. It's also daily support. Yeah, that's where I'd look to put on longs. Unfortunately, I don't like a short on this until 1923. I guess you could argue about the midpoint, but yeah, I just don't like the setup for the short. Naturally, people are going to be looking for shorts just right here, but that's not a short I can put on. Bitcoin Bitcoin volatility is also on lows at 35. Heading lower on the daily range. Did get a slight vol spike on Bitcoin Monday, but since then the vol sellers have just been selling it. Yeah. That's what you have. I was looking for longs on Pingu the other day. Naturally, it ran right through my stop and then kept going. This would have been the place to look for longs. So now you're getting a push up to here. Is the sellers going to take over today? Right now, the buyers are more aggressive on Pingu. Your 21 has flipped the 200, so you can make the case for the sell. Based on that alone, you did retest supply perfectly. My only issue with looking for the short here is if you look at the 8-hour candle, the 8-hour candle still looks good to buy. So yeah, I mean, if you only look at the 4-hour, you could make it. You could say, yeah, this thing looks like it's going lower. Daily looks like it's going lower, but yesterday you made a fresh day high and a higher day low. And this morning, higher day low so far. Back under the yearly opening range, that would have me a little bit more bearish and being under the 50 on the daily. So I guess because you're testing the 50 on the daily, the signal on Zcash would be to look for the sell. Ignore the 8-hour chart and look for the sell. 4-hour supply or 4-hour res would be the entry. 493 for the short. 494 for the short. I guess that's the only way I could play it based on what the daily looks like. That it's very hard for me to do that with copper moving up so strongly today. Yeah, I mean, copper has no bearing on the crypto market whatsoever, but it just has more of a risk on feel across the board. And I'm only have a bullish bias on gold, so I'm only looking for longs. I am not looking to short this market. I'm only looking to buy it. I wish I would have been awake at 2:30 this morning. I would have absolutely bought this. Prior day lows, that's where we look to be buyers. And you can see you traded into that area to absolute perfection. That is this line here. Came in a couple ticks shy of actually touching it. But I mean, if I was looking for the long aggressively, I would have bought that for sure. I really like what I'm seeing here as well. When I go to look on the 4-hour chart, I do not see an entry here for long. So I need a pullback or I cannot get involved in this market. Maybe I can sell puts or something like that. In terms of options and shares, here's all the trades that I currently have open. This is a big account, so I understand that some of the trades that I take on this account, not everybody's going to be able to participate. It is what it is. I have small accounts open. I have large accounts open. We can trade any market. There is not a market that we cannot trade. So if you have a setup, let me know, baby. We will go take a look at it, and if we like it, we will trade it. Cisco's going to be closed today. Obviously, this is going to be a loss. Let me pull up the table so you can see. I was playing earnings on Cisco yesterday. You look at the chart here on Cisco. I was looking for a bullish breakout. I mean, I don't know about you, but that chart looks pretty damn bullish. Pulled into the 21 exponential, threw a big nasty tail like that, and have been making higher daily lows. And then yesterday, a nice higher close at resistance. I literally was looking for the pop. So I sold puts. I sold a put spread. The short put spread comes in right there at 118. You can see we're under 118 by $3. So the only way this trade works is if Cisco bounces at the 50-day exponential moving average. They beat on earnings. It's so weird. And if you look right here, record revenue and earnings growth. Let's go look at the intraday. What happened with this thing yesterday? Oh, it did break out. And then the sellers hammered it. Bam. Big move up. Ran all the way up to 135 almost. What's that wick come in at? 134. And then puked. So, yeah, you have that on these big jobs. Occasionally, earnings comes in really good, and then the people just take profits. For whatever reason, it is what it is. Look at that. You made fresh highs. Pre-market. So that's why it's dumping. All-time highs? Not quite. Yes, all-time highs. Yeah, they just took profits. Getting out. I didn't listen to the earnings call, so I don't, and I looked at the earnings information. I didn't see anything about CapEx. So maybe they sold because they're looking to spend more on CapEx. I don't know. Right now, the market's kind of punishing the big hyperscalers because too much money being spent, not enough proof of profitability, all that jazz. All right, so SPOO's currently making fresh day highs here. Fresh 2-day highs, 3-day highs, 4-day highs. 1, 2, 3. All right, so if you're looking for the short right now would be the time to put that trade on. Let's go see if we can take that. I don't love the idea. I'm not taking it on the MES or on the ES. I will take it on the MES. I'll just do, what, 3 contracts? Oh, let's do 3 contracts. Let's see if we can get filled at 79350. Oh, wait, we're not going to get filled up there. Let's drop it down here to 93. That's still pretty high. Very thin liquidity. I mean, when you see the ES gapping like this, like a crypto market, liquidity is thin. Not seeing the VIX bounce yet, so I don't really like the idea of shorting it. But it is a fresh 3-day high. It is 9:28, so we're about to get the market open. What is the close of that 5-minute candle? 91. It looks like we're going to get filled. We'll drop this limit order down to 91. $75 as soon as the bell rings, if we don't get filled. Looks like we're going to take a fill here. Very thin volumes up here. All right, 106 on the ask. One tick, thank you. What was that all about? So we're going to pop up here to 30 bucks. We're going to exit. That's what the loss would be. Fresh high of day. We got our stop up there on the high of day. So let's see what happens. There's the bell. Here we go. Like I said, I have an upside bias on this, so probably going to get ran over. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nick, Tom, Bravo, everybody. Very slow markets out there. So I'm filled at 92.75. That low comes in at 85. This looks like a big move. That's not even 10 points. It's not a big move, not really. Generally, I'm looking for 10 points on my scalps on the ES. The VIX is actually under yesterday's low right now. Oil is also heading lower, making fresh day lows right now. Oil is. It looks like it's also making fresh couple day lows. Let's see. Yeah, you're taking out Tuesday's low right now on oil. So if the oil buyers are going to show up, they need to show up now. We are getting that move lower on gold. So we may get a long entry out on gold. Let me get gold pulled up on the crypto platform. And I am also going to sell puts on GLD. But let's wait and see what we get here. You can see that you are pulling back off that high. So I would love to get a fresh day low. And then we'll see if support builds in there on an intraday basis. If it does, we're going to buy it. And since today's Thursday, we'll sell puts on GLD as well, under the yearly opening range. So Cisco's getting hammered, so I need to close that trade. There you go. Got stopped out on the S&P, like I figured would happen. We're just going to close this so we don't. All right, beautiful. All right, what other positions do we have open here? So AEP's in the money. We are almost ready to close that. This is a long trade. This right here is a short premium strangle here. So essentially, I'm just selling premium on the outskirts of the measured move. 36 days left to go. But if this gets up a little bit more, I'll take profits. Or, I mean, I'll close it out. This is a pretty good trade. So I do want to kind of hang on to it. It's on Bloom Energy. I just want it to stay in the range that it is currently trading in. Right here is the breakout point. So 249.45. You can see you traded up there yesterday. It does look like it wants to go higher. So if we break out of this today, I will probably just go ahead and close the trade, as at that point you will be trending. I do realize that my spread is much higher, 310, but I don't want to lose all of that premium that I've gotten so far. If it stays under 250, I'll leave the trade open, but above it, I gotta bail. GIS, we can go ahead and close. That one is almost at 100% profitability. There's no point in sitting in it any longer. As we have sucked pretty much most of the premium out of this thing. We'll give them $1. See if they'll fill us. iBit's gonna stay open. It's got 30 days left. I don't know what this is. What is this? We got filled on GIS. What is that? Oh, we bought shares on that. Never mind. That's shares. This is a trade. We're not ready yet for that one. This is shares. Shares. Nvidia is a trade. I'm looking to buy O. So I have a limit out to buy 200 shares of that. This is shares. That's insurance. This is shares. This is a trade. It's still working. This is a trade. It's still working. Shares and trade complete. Almost 100% profits. So we'll close this one out as well. And look to put more on. Give them $1. Because they won't fill you if you don't. Ooh. Big breakout on SPOOs. Should have bought that freaking thing. It is what it is. Alrighty. Gold is pulling down to our level here. Let's see if we can get a fill on gold. So it looks different on the crypto platform. $43.53. Trades into that, I'm going to be looking for the long. Would love a deeper pullback, but we take what we can get. Let's go look. Oh, real fast. Explain to you why I want to buy this. So you're under the 5-year open. So like if you're looking at 5 years worth of data, you're not trending. So that's one thing that's against it right off the bat that I don't like. You're not trending higher and you're under this. However, if you look at the weekly structure, looks like it could potentially get above that, right? You just got a golden cross here. You came back in and retested the 200 and bounced, pulled back into the 50. You're bouncing again. If we go look at the daily time frame, you took out July's low right there, and now you're bouncing. It's also a 200 exponential moving average retest. And then if you can see here, you're buying it under the 50, which means we could take profits on overbought if we wanted to. So essentially, I have a limit to buy 200 shares at 62.37. I will also take a buy at 62.74. My stop loss is going to be under August's low. So right there at 61.25 or a little lower, that's where my stop loss is going to be. Target 68.33 long term. This is a dividend payer. It doesn't pay huge dividends, but as long as you're holding above the 50-day exponential or the 200-day exponential for the long term, you can hold this stock. I think it's in repair, but we'll see. Sellers are in control of gold today, or they are the most aggressive. It's trending as well. So we could see further downside today on gold. So we may want to be a little bit more patient. We may want to allow the sellers to get that push under these lows here. And then if price begins to fade from that area, now it will be a bearish engulfing candle. Some people will get bearish because of that. But if it fades back above that 43.62 price, I would be buying it. Since the sellers are in control here and they are getting a trending move, we'll see if we can get that. Let me set an alert. Just in case I'm off screen. I have it pulled up on the big screen above, so I am looking at it. But we're going to start firing off some trades here. We're just looking for things that are trending up. So I have a scanner. If you want to pause it, these are the scanner settings. Just right here. You want the 200-day to be below the 50. You want price to also be below the 50, as that indicates you're in a bullish trend, but price is pulling back. So that's essentially what we're looking for. We don't want to buy stuff at all-time highs. We want to buy bullish stocks that are pulling back. And even if we don't want to buy bullish stocks that are pulling back, we want to sell puts on them. Rivian, let's go look at Rivian. Rivian used to be everybody's or a lot of people's favorite. I really hope the sellers are strong enough to get down here, as it's a harder buy to buy this at a random area here. You could make the argument that yesterday's open is holding as support, but you haven't even tested that yet. All right, let's look at Rivian. Let's look at all the data here. Jesus, it looks disgusting. Obviously, long term, it looks like it's building in a wedge. I don't know if these guys make money or not. I probably am not going to buy this. Arguably, though, you could. You could. Yeah, I mean, you could buy it right here, right now, because that is a 200-day exponential retest. Typically, that's what you want to see hold longer term. But very choppy, very disgusting chart. It's in an uptrend on the daily time frame only. It's clearly not in an uptrend on the weekly. Rocket Lab is another one a lot of people are trading. I think this has earnings this week. Oh, it already reported and it missed. 37%. Clearly, this is a very bullish chart. I mean, that's nasty. Nasty pullback. But anytime you get a big, giant move like that, it is normal to kind of see it come back. I don't like the monthly, definitely, but I'll set an alert on it. If it can come back to the open, I would be interested. I'm not interested up here. I do like this weekly, how it tested the midpoint. The midpoint is also the 50-week exponential. So maybe next week we could buy it. Let me move this alert. Let's move the alert up to this week's low, as that's where we're going to be wanting to participate. If it holds. Yeah, it looks okay on the daily. Let's go see what kind of options this thing has. They've got weeklies. Spreads are wide. People are trading it, but I don't like the spreads. If I was going to sell premium, I mean, down here the spreads get $1 wide. Yeah, I don't like that. 45 cents, 40 cents is about where I want. Too wide. Rivian, their cars are too expensive, risky maintenance for long term. Yeah, I don't like the stock. I just don't like it. Don't like it. Let's see what RHP looks like. Looks good. It's clearly pulling back here. We will keep this one on watch. Wait, let's go see the options first. Yeah, no, they don't have weeklies. So I'm done with the S&P for right now. It's breaking out. I'm not going to chase the breakout. I'm just not going to chase it. You're making fresh all-time highs right now. I'm not going to try to short it either at all these highs. Actually, you can. Look at what the VIX is doing. So we can try one more trade on the S&P 500. Here's the VIX. It has backed up off of that level. So, I mean, that's it. That's all you got. That, and you're making fresh all-time highs. Let's go back over to the trade tab. You're not even close to it on the futures. Yeah, you're not even close. Let's mark off 12-hour res. Yeah, but why did I mark that low? That's why. Okay, so I was looking to be a buyer there. Just didn't get it. It just traded to the open, and that was it. Obviously, in hindsight, that was the trade to make. XAU is down to yesterday's open. Let's focus on that one a little bit harder. It's got a lot of bearish momentum here. So we're into daily support here. MGPI. MP. MGP. Is that a stock? MGPI. So just looking at the 5-year, it looks really bad. Oh, purple line is your 5-year. So 5 years ago, this thing was trading for 68 bucks. Today it's trading for 18.10. It looks like it does pretty well good on earnings, but yet nobody likes it, obviously, because they keep selling it. You're well under all liquidation levels, so you can't use that as the excuse. This is legit sell side. Could you run out of selling pressure and get a bullish spike? Yeah, but I mean, typically it's not something that I like trading. You are holding above the 21 and 50-day exponential. So I'm not going to take this. You've got a dividend coming up tomorrow, so you can't sell any options. I mean, you can, but that's risk, dividend risk. I mean, as long as you're holding above 1760, that's where I would try to work an order. If you're closing daily candles back under that, I would cut my losses. Like I said, it is definitely not something that I want to trade or own. This is a rounding bottom, so you could be getting ready to see like a cup and handle or something longer term. You got a nice bullish pop over here just the other day, and they hit it right back down. The fact that the sellers could not hold it under resistance is a good sign. So it does look like you are seeing a little bit of near-term construction. 1770's got to hold daily closes, or I would leave it alone. Gold is starting to bounce here just a little bit. There's a lot of bearish momentum, so probably would get ran over on a stop if you try to take the trade instantly right now. Let's see, USD JPY is currently trading above yesterday's open, but if it could reject here, that would be a perfect scenario. Let's see if the ES made those all-time. Not yet. So you don't have all-time highs here on futures. Give it a little bit of time, see if it can work it in. The sellers are very aggressive on gold. Let's pull up the session volume profile and see where the POC is. Point of control is currently setting down near the lows on the higher time frame charts. It is on the lows on the 30-minute. So it does look like you have lower sellers trying to push it down here. I am long gold at 43.76. It's actually 43.55. Gonna give it a pretty wide stop loss to give it some room. And then later on, if it does end up holding, then I can add to the position. So we're currently long. 43.55 is the price. Wait, that's not my entry price right here. With a smaller position, like I said, if it breaks down and takes out these lows and then fails to trend, we'll go in with double this. Go in with a $600 position size. Because we're going to have to give that time to work. So it's under that day's low. We're kind of buying it high in this 3-day range. You can see this would be a much better price to buy if we get a pullback into that area. You got your 200-day right here. So I do generally like to see breakouts like that above resistance, and I do like that gold is trying to hold support above resistance. The resistance here would be the 200-day exponential moving average. We'll see if the buyers are strong enough to hold it up here. You've already hit overbought on the daily time frame. So sellers are going to be interested in selling this. Ultimately, we may be a little bit early and aggressive with a long up here. A lot of bearish momentum. VIX is bouncing, but the S&P is still pushing. I would say it's still pushing because it's trying to liquidate the futures swing high. What's up, buddy? It's doing that now. You got fresh all-time highs on the futures. $207 sellers at 78.26. That's your day high. Green line. These are fresh all-time highs, so there's no point in looking for resistance anywhere. Oh no, I don't want a 6. Bloom Energy seems to be breaking out too. There's probably a few things that are moving up. Gold trying to head lower. That's beautiful. I'm fine with it making fresh highs. I don't care about that. As long as it's trading under this, it's fine. It's fine. We want to see the S&P start to back away from here. As long as it's continuing to make fresh 1 minute highs, it's not going to work out. You're in the process of a short squeeze right now. This will be the last attempt as well, because it's definitely not a short. But you never know. You might be able to get a 10-point move to the downside. It doesn't look like it right now, though. Still a little too hot. Oil is also putting in fresh day lows as well. I mean, to be fair, it's probably going to pull back soon. That is the highest close. So 27s. One more at 27. We're right on the edge of what we can afford to lose on a daily basis. Generally, what we try to lose on the smaller accounts is $100. We try to make $300 daily on the smaller account. Gold is currently bouncing still. Good luck, Nick. I like bottoms. If they have a legit, if they legit companies. Been around 80 years and sell brands and ingredients for booze. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad company. I don't know what they do. I'm just saying it's not something that I want to buy. You can absolutely buy it. All right, I'm going to take this down here. The USD JPY is trading back under the open. You probably could get a 5 or a 10-point correction on this, but you're literally fighting against the current to do that. It is also pretty overbought, so I mean, I just don't think we're going to get a fill. VIX is making a fresh day high right now. So the VIX has bounced. It does not mean the S&P is going to roll over. Let's see if it liquidates the high day one more time. And then if it closes back under 27, we'll take it. Making higher low, higher low, higher low. So chances are it is going to run that high. $27. There's a fresh day high. I'm not in it. I'm letting this play out. 27 is the, or right there, 27 is the highest 1 minute close. Now you have a fresh higher close. But I'll take a fill at 27 to attempt to get that, 8 to 10 point pullback. See if we can knock some of that loss down. It doesn't look like it wants to pull back yet. Ooh, dollar's getting nuked. I don't know, guys. I think this is gonna go higher. $28. So $28.99 be 29. The higher close. Damn it, dude. This thing ain't done yet. Take the low out, take the low out, take the low out. Take that low out, bro. Come on. Thank you. So we're in at 29.19 is where we want out. If we can get it. We don't want to get completely out, though. We just want to take profits there. Gold is still testing support. Dollar's getting beat up, so that's good for gold, right? You come over here and look at pound. It's pushing to the upside. USD JPY. You're trading back under yesterday's open, so that's good. Starting to fall away. So that's what you would want to see. DXY is pushing. Yeah, we got smoked. Of course. All right, we're done with the S&P. It's probably done now, but it is what it is. We're still doing really good on the week. We nailed the first 2 days on the NASDAQ. We're good. Dollar's pulling back off of the highs, so this could help gold find support. Sellers are still really aggressive today. And it's trending on the deltas. Basically, we want to see it stop going down from this point forward and start to slowly grind back up. And we want price to confirm that. Ethereum. I don't know that it's given. It hasn't done anything. Since the market opened, Ethereum has done nothing. It's just grinding sideways, choppy and slow. Like I said here, 4 hour looks like you might see downside continuation on Zcash, but the 8 hour looks good for continuation higher. You even have upside targets. Solana looks fine. It's into daily res, but it looks okay. We're looking for ETH to potentially squeeze. It's got to break out. It's a long ways from breaking out. It's literally in the middle of the range. Once again, if the dollar ultimately rolls over today, that would go a long way in helping. SpaceX, big breakout yesterday. Today you're testing the midpoint. Let's go see if there's any premiums on those. 1-day contracts. 136. Forgot just how volatile SpaceX is. Whew. Yeah. Not much, but we could try the one we can put on a spread, then that means we can go a little bit higher up on the deltas. Let's see how if it's overbought real bad though. It's not even overbought. Good. So the mid, like 140 is our line in the sand. We don't want to see it get under 140. Got some momentum here on the open though. We'll keep glancing at it here and there. All right, that's the high. So we're good there. Got more on a week out. Nice juicy premiums on the 8-day. I would love to see a trending move on the dollar, and it's just not giving it. It didn't give it to us yesterday either. This is why I have a bullish bias on it. These dips keep getting bought. Tesla's been in a range for a week, so it's probably going to see a move next week or the week after next. Looks like support's trying to hold on Tesla at $300. What is this? We took a position on that yesterday, didn't we? We did. I don't want to chase it, so I'm going to wait for it to come back. Let's go look at Marlboro. It did not liquidate Q2's low yet. It may not. Now you're back above Q2's open. So I think we have to buy it just because of that. So let's see if we can get a fill at 65.47. 65.47, and we want 250 shares. We'll just take it at 50. Let's go 58. 250. It's in a downtrend on the daily, and it had a lot of momentum after losing the highs. You spent 2 days up on highs and then rolled over. That's a swing high failure. It's not quite all-time highs, though. So there's still all-time high liquidation targets. We're okay owning it at the 200. We're slightly under it here. Last time it was under the 200 for almost an entire quarter. It was for an entire... Well, you lost it late October. That would have been the beginning of Q4. I mean, yeah, the very beginning of Q4. You stayed under it throughout Q4, and then January straight back up through it. This quarter was an expansion, close above the highs. If it can stay above this price, I don't mind owning it. Or a run up to 77.95. This stock also does dividends. They haven't reported when they're going to do their dividend yet, so it'll probably be sometime in September or October, and they pay a healthy dividend as well. It has been in a nice couple of year trend here. Once it reclaimed the 200 week, it was off to the races. Since May 2024, it's been straight up with dips being bought. So the 50's here for defense, the 50 week. You've also got weekly support right there at 64.26. And like I said, Q2's open. Q2's low is right here. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's right there. So if you take that out, you have a bearish engulfing, and then it looks a little bit different. I'm okay to sit in it just owning the shares. No leverage or anything. So we got the alert on XAU. That means it has fallen. There's that liquidation. If it continues to trend under that, you're going to see a deeper correction on gold. You do currently have a bearish engulfing. So the bears, all the bears today are very happy with their decision to short gold. But ultimately, I do believe the buyers will end up buying this up. At which price? That's going to be a little bit more difficult to judge. But I still have a long bias as long as it's above this price. You're back under the weekly last week's high. So your swing high or breakout has failed at this point. So a lot of decisions going to be made here. It is an aggressive buy because gold really didn't give anybody an opportunity to get long. When it broke, we have been looking at long gold trades since $4,000. We were talking about being long gold through all of this because the bears couldn't break it down. Once we got word that China's economy was getting ready to go back online, essentially that was the signal to buy gold. Then it broke out strongly. And on this day right here, that's when everybody started rushing in to buy gold. Boom, 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 boom. And then it just kind of did this stair-step move up. So it is a little bit extended here. I mean, you took out last month's high by a long shot. That's about as low as I would want to see it go and still be bullish. That is about where your 21-day exponential is going to be and the 50-day. So ultimately, if we lose this area, we'll expect a deeper retracement on gold. We'll watch it at 43.15 and then again at 42.31. If it pulls back that deep, sometimes I've waited for deeper corrections to get long on assets and it never happened. Like you literally trade in a straight line and then boom, off to the races it goes again. I don't think that would happen if dollar was strong, but it could. And like I said, dollar right now isn't showing any signs of failure. In fact, you have a near-term breakout of a descending wedge. So unless it falls back into the wedge, this is a breakout. You have an inverted head and shoulders almost. It's not a pretty one, but and the macro is still very much positioned for gold longs, as the Fed has done nothing to interest rates, and until they do, nothing has changed on gold. I mean, on the dollar. You did get the BOJ intervention, and you might see the Treasury intervene again on the yen. But I would assume that would be up at 160, which is right up here. We'll see what happens. Retail has positioned themselves short again on USD JPY. So if we go look at the tools over here to trader sentiment, you can see 70% of retail. It's not just retail, it's 70% of Forex.com's clientele. So everybody, 70% of them are positioned for shorts on USD JPY. Why does that matter? Because these people are potentially exit liquidity. If you go look at rollover rates, it is expensive to hold dollar shorts against the yen. It might not be expensive for you to hold shorts against the yen or me, but if you're a like couple $100 million hedge fund and you're looking to take, a $250 million position, you're not going to want to do that, as you're going to have to pay daily rollover fees. I gotta go one more. So that's what you got to pay on one lot. On 10,000 units. So one lot is $10 per day to hold it short. That isn't anything on a one lot position. On a 10,000 lot position, that's a shitload of money that you got to pay on a daily basis. So you can't really make. Whereas if the big money just takes the other side of that trade, not only are they no longer having to pay a huge amount of money, they're actually making money. So until central banks, the BOJ and the Fed, do something about the interest rate spread, I can't get short USD JPY. Unfortunately, I would rather, like I said, I would rather find other areas to short the dollar. So like pound dollar, for instance, it doesn't matter if you buy or sell the pound dollar, you got to pay. And it's the same on both sides of the trade. It's 40 cents. 40 cents if you get long, 40 cents if you get short. So something like that, I think, would be a better pair to look for dollar short positions. It would be much cheaper on you to buy pound dollar than to short USD yen. It doesn't always matter. I do want you guys to understand that the rollover rates do not always influence trend. Because you can see, well, here on just the USD Swissy pair, they make more money to hold this one long, and it's more expensive to hold it short. But if you look at USD Swissy for the long term, it only goes down. So, I mean, obviously, rollover rates do not always influence trend. But it has literally been the influence with the dollar yen pair specifically. Based on the inflation rate that the US ended up going through back in 2020, 2021, 2022. Market participants sniffed out that inflation was going higher, even though the Fed was saying it's transitory. They didn't buy it. We didn't buy it either. We were trying to get long. That's right here. Sorry. And you can see just how much since 2020 that carry trade has influenced this trend. It has been a strong influence. Secondly, if the carry trade does unwind, because back in here when everybody started to actually put that trade on, the BOJ had negative interest rates. Not just none, they were in negative territory. So a lot of people were using that leverage to buy the US stock market. So just the simple fact of unwinding this trade right here has potential, or has bearish potential, on the US stock market. So you're in a really precarious place, the BOJ is, where they definitely want this to stop going up, but they're not going to keep forking out money to do that. So if the USD does, and if the US does in fact, start to act like they're going to continue to inject money into the Japanese yen, then there is no reason to be long this, at least for a couple of months. So it could still roll over. But I generally don't want to be on the side of retail, even though retail occasionally gets it right. They were wrong for so long on USD yen. Pound dollar, and then other areas to look for dollar short positions, especially if you have a long gold thesis, might be right here. It's also slightly cheap to be long Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar might do really good if you have dollar weakness and gold strength. Gold strong all of 2025. Aussie dollar strong all through 2025. Gold is still holding support here, guys. Big reaction. I did not get stopped out, so I'm still holding the long. It'll be very easy to mitigate risk on gold for the rest of the day. Excuse me. If you're not closing 5-minute candles under 43.70, you might be able to hold a long. You can't really look for the long if you are closing 5-minute candles under that price, because you could be heading lower naturally. You are getting a bounce here, but it is still kind of early in the New York session. Depending on how aggressive these sellers are, they may fade this move. We'll see, but I definitely want to be long gold right now with leverage. Whether I'm short puts or long futures, with leverage, I want to be long. And GLD puts. Let's go see if we can get on something for the day. There's a little bit of premium at the 399s. There's a gap under there. 396, 397. So let's do the 398. That isn't that great, tying up that much money to make 10%, a little over 10%. But we don't have to sit in it long. We could sit in it till tomorrow only. It's a good looking candle. It's kind of an aggressive play. We can always close it if we have to. We'll see if we can get a fill. All right. So we got some things working here. This isn't working. This is already filled. There's the GLD fill. So we have O working and MO working. I would love to get some other trades open. It's up 900%. What's up 900%? Hang on, let me read. It looks like Weeks added a few more Forex pairs, but the JPY USD pair is bugged and showing Bitcoin price. Oh. Yeah, I don't... I tried to trade a Forex pair, euro dollar, on Weeks once. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Kind of weird. I would probably stay away from that. And there is still threat of intervention. I mean, that USD JPY move was massive. One of the biggest 3-day moves that I've seen in a long, long time. It does suck that we weren't short, but at the same time, that kind of move, we kind of assumed that if they intervened, it would be on the Fed day. They did intervene on the Fed day, but it wasn't until once that news came out that the Treasury was tapping the FX, checking for FX prices, then you got that. Boom. So we kind of missed that. The biggest trade on the USD JPY all year. This thing has been a very boring trade for the majority of the year. But they have clearly been buying the 200-day. So that's where I would be a buyer again. If the USD JPY were to pull back into this area, I'd probably buy it again. I've been scalping it up on the small account. So I've already taken 2 successful longs. One when it was testing 8-hour support down here. I got long on that candle. Took profits. And then again here when we got that news spike, I bought it again. I bought it again. And then when this one happened yesterday, I bought it one more time. So far, 3 successful longs on USD JPY. And pretty much 268 pips. Not bad. And I plan on just, as long as I don't get stopped out, I'm not going to close the position. I'm going to try to leave it open the same way that I am long USD Swissy and short Euro dollar. The USD Swissy one is the best one to be long in terms of rollover rates. It definitely pays the most to be long the dollar. And it has been very sideways. If you look at what this has done, the last several days. So my long entry was here. Right there. 79,268 is where I got the fill on the long. So while it was appreciating, making higher highs and higher closes, it was doing real good. But since then, since June the 24th, it really hasn't done anything. How many days is that? So literally 36 days of it doing absolutely nothing. So each day you get paid the rollover. Not bad. So there's no point for me to close the long. It hasn't been threatened yet. Generating a daily return regardless if price is appreciating or depreciating. Doesn't matter. I still am making a little bit of money. Very small amount. It would be better on a larger position, clearly. Huge resistance up here. If you look at the monthly, you can see that you're literally into a high month close. Since July 2025, you have not been able to close a monthly candle above this price. So it is a big resistance zone for it to break out through. I don't know that it will. Because like I said earlier, the US loves to short the USD versus the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc is a strong currency. They don't have high inflation, so people like to put their money in the Swissy. So I don't know if we're going to see a long-term long in this. But so far, so good. So far, so good. I would love for this to break out so I can add to the position. I can add. I just have to wait for another month low. $801.23. I would add to a long. Very choppy, very sideways. Yep, that's FX in a nutshell, though. So SPX or SpaceX still pushing on day lows. We did not get filled on that trade. That's a good thing. Testing the 618 now. The S&P ultimately did pull back. I wonder where. Let's go see where. Let's see how close we were. So what was that last fill? $19, $27, $26. So it looks like 26 was the highest fill. Okay, so that's good. It ended up going another 10 points higher. 11, 12, 13 points higher. That's what I mean. Like, even if you think it is going to pull back, just getting it is difficult when it's got that much momentum. It's pulled all the way back to literally the breakout point. So you may find bulls jumping in here. It's a little bit aggressive for me to get long, but it is massively overbought on the hourly time frame. Probably done for the day. It's probably going to spend the rest of the day inside your current range. It's a pretty good day, though. You started the day at what price? 77.69. Not bad. Not bad at all. For a slow day. All right, everybody's gone. Do you guys have anything you want to look at? I guess we can go back to this and look at a couple of these real quick. See if we can find something. What is this? Siggy. SIGI. Insurance. It's up on a 5-year chart, so it is at least that doing that. did have a nice breakout and a nice run. It's above all major moving averages on the weekly time frame. Currently putting in an ugly, I don't know if I'd call that a bull flag anymore. Sorry. They do not have weeklies. None of those others look familiar to me. We were looking at a trucking company yesterday, Swift. I got alerts set on that. These might do good if oil prices start to drop. SNDR. This is another local trucking company. They do a lot of local jobs. Looks good on a 5-year. Looks really good. Fresh breakout. Looks like it's trying to hold support. They're also a dividend payer. Very small though. No weeklies. Damn it. All the good charts don't have weeklies. STRL. No. Could you look at TECL? Yes. It's up nicely. I mean, it's a technology bull 3 times levered ETF. That's why. You got to be very cautious with these. I mean, it looks fine. Is this going to be a lower high eventually? It could be, but I don't see any reason for the bull market to be over. I literally, other than rates and the Middle East, like that's pretty much it. Rates have kind of, I mean, they're not really chilling out. They're literally at highs. I mean, 30 years pulling back a little bit more aggressive today, but it's still right there. In 10 years as well, it's still right there, ready to go. That's kind of good news. So if the 2-year continues to fall, that's going to give the Fed a little bit of room, or at least give them time. I would assume this is the reason for the late hawkishness. So I mean, if the Fed doesn't have to hike, I don't see why stocks wouldn't do really good. But nobody thinks that they're not going to hike. I'm just saying. Nobody knows what's going to happen. The last time we looked at this, it was a 50-50 shot. It's a little bit more, and this will go up. if the 2-year continues to fall. This will continue to go up. I think. We'll see. Yeah, be careful on the triple levered stuff, guys. I mean, most of the time, I think people are trading these things like for day trading plays. I don't know how this is structured. I don't know if holding this long term actually pays the way it looks like it pays. Some of these things are literally rebalanced every day. Some of these it doesn't make sense to hold them long and pay all those fees. I don't know though. I've never owned this. I can't tell you. I've never traded it either. Just do your due diligence, do your homework. It looks fantastic. You're working on a fresh breakout here. We started to buy this in here because we got that signal, that massive volume spike on semiconductors. When we saw that, we started to buy. I was just selling puts, but it's the same trade. It's no different than if I were to buy shares. And I don't see any reason for this to change. Most of the companies that are in this sector have reported earnings. And they all did really good. Like, it's to no one's wonder. They're all cranking, printing money. There's a couple of people out there calling for this to be all fake and a bear market. I just don't see. I get their concern. I do. I really do. AI could be amazing. It could be this thing that could usher in all the white collar companies out there. If they can fire all their employees and have AI do it all, you're going to see massive gains in the stock market. So, I mean, there is potential, but it seems like it's still years off. AI, to me, I mean, it is smarter. It is smart, and it is getting smarter, but it still has problems doing very small tasks. Yesterday, I tried to get it to just find a movie. I even gave it the actress that was playing in the movie and told it the streaming services to look for the movie under, and it could not do it. I literally did it quicker by Googling the actor's name, pulling up the IMDb page, finding the movie that I was literally looking for, and go to it. I did it quicker than Alexa could. They're still dumb. They're not. You're still going to be able to outcompete AI in some tasks, and then others it's going to be able to crush you. But can it take over all the jobs in America? No. It's long time from doing that. That's why people are concerned about all this spend. How are you going to justify spending $7 trillion on something that is a glorified Google search bar? Because as of right now, that's all AI is. Right? I mean, that's all I can do. You ask it questions, it answers you. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. It's really good at writing code and in making indicators. I've used AI to build several indicators. It's really good at that. I don't know, man. I can't justify a bear market in 2026. CapEx alone would stop a recession from happening. And then government spending is the other half of that. I don't know. We'll see. Keep your eyes on it. As long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, shorting it is going to be a bad idea. I love to watch support. I like to buy dips at support. If it can continue to hold 194, it's a buying opportunity. Obviously, you won't know if it's going to hold or not. You just have to take it and put a stop out to make sure. As that's the only thing any of us can do. Sometimes they don't hold. This could be a lower high, but I think the better trade, well, it's not now. Obviously, you're expanding already in the month of August. You've taken out July's high already. That's huge. July's high will be the price that determines whether or not this thing is going to continue or not. So you have a perfectly legit level to mitigate risk from if you like it lower. If you're below 221.50, you can try your luck on a short of some kind. Today, you're literally putting in that move. So if this is nothing more than just a stop run, I can't imagine that's what it is, but we can't see into the future. Right there is the level. As long as you're above that, you are in upside continuation. If you spend a few days chopping here and then ultimately you fail, that could be a good signal, maybe, for a more near-term short setup. Back down to like $200 or something. Just be careful. TECL. I am interested to see if this has options. And if they're liquid. It doesn't even have weeklies. The options are not liquid. That's almost a $3 wide spread. There's no way I would trade options on this. No way. Can't buy it right now either. So I can't do anything with this. I can watch it from here though. It's got to break above this. It's for upside continuation. 202 is the level to watch for the downside. Yeah. Be careful. Those things are crazy. You're welcome, KF. What are your thoughts on swing trading on MBIS? I love swing trading. I love position trading. I love day trading. I love all the trading. All the assets. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it has something to do with AI because it is absolutely destroying shorts. Huge breakout. Looks like semiconductors. Huge pop here. This looks like a short squeeze. I mean, that thing is volatile. I would do it with very small sizing. Say you were just, aggressive enough to buy that wick because that was the breakout point. I mean, you literally almost doubled your money. Yeah, things are crazy right now. I wouldn't buy it here naturally. It's almost at highs. I want you guys to try to buy higher lows. Establish that the asset is in an uptrend. First and foremost, once you've established that it is, then look to be a higher support buyer. You look to buy higher lows support. This week was very, like, just the last 2 days, it popped so strongly, you would have had to chase it. But you can clearly see, like, there was support here. There's Friday. So that close established that down weekly closing candle. So for these 2 days right here, while you're under it, you got to leave it alone, because you're coming into support. You could have taken longs there. In hindsight, it's easier once you start closing days back above your support level that you're watching. Because then when you get into a fresh day open and you flash a wick into that price, that is the time that you look to operate. That is your higher low support test. If you would have bought on that day, it would have looked really, really good. 2 days later, 4 days later, you would have been scared, as it traded right back into your entry. But it never got under it. It never closed days under it. And that's the key. So as long as that's happening, you're good. You just hold it. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes you're going to buy that support, and then price is going to just keep right on trucking right through your entry. It's on those times you must have a stop loss out, and you must realize what you stand to lose if it keeps going, right? And that's it. That's all we do. That's how we do it. For instance, gold. It did bounce nicely. I don't know ever if it's going to hold or not. I have to take the trade and then let time dictate what happens. It either works or it doesn't. You just make sure when it doesn't work, the amount of money that you stand to lose is defined and well within your ability to lose it. Like, that's it. That's all we do. Some work, some don't. When it comes to putting out like a lot of stuff, the reason we do this, the reason I keep looking for random stuff, I know it's not exciting content by any stretch of the imagination, right? I'm throwing trades out on random things. Well, there's a reason for it. Because I never know which ones are going to work or not. I just have to take the trade and then see what happens. Some of them work, some of them don't. As long as you're never blowing up, you're just taking defined losses. The winners ultimately cover all the losers. I lost $1,500 on MO alone. More than that, actually. It was like $1,900 on MO. But Verizon covered that. I'm setting in a loss on SPY. That will probably always be there unless we go into a bear market, as this is just an insurance put spread. So that trade will never work unless there's a bear market. But I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I can set in it until it expires. Worthless. I'm fine with that. Even this NVIDIA put, it can expire worthless. Most I'm going to lose, $60. The most I'm going to lose on this, $320. It's fine. This is a large account. Not large by some people's standards, but by others, it's massive. So we can take big trades if we want. This trade right here is a big trade. It required about $8,000 worth of buying power. And if it wins, could pay up to about $2,000. There's big positions in here, small positions, everything. It's about just keeping at it, being consistent. Don't know which ones will win, but the overall sheer amount of positions we put on, some of them are going to win, and some of them are going to win big. T-Row. Let's go look at T-Row. No weeklies. Come on, bro. Is that a thing? That would be so amazing. I don't know if I can run that. If I could find that, that'd be great. Only show me tickers that have weekly options, please. I can probably do that on Thinkorswim. This is a free, you don't have to download anything. That's why I'm using it, because a lot of people just ask me, how do you even find things to trade? This is how, like literally, this is how. Find assets that are bullish, put on bullish trades. Texas Instruments has been sideways since May, so let's go look at it. I know it's part of the AI trade. Very bullish. Fresh breakout that happened this year. Yeah, dude, as long as it's above 272, we could be bullish. Right? All right, so PXN weeklies. Yeah, baby. What did I say? 272? Yup. All right. So right there is 272. The options are spready. Almost $1 wide, but I don't care at this point. We can sell it naked, or we could put on a spread. That takes the buying power down by a significant amount, so we'll do that. 8 days, we're only looking to make 75% of this. So we don't need to set in at 8 days. If it holds support, which it's trying to do now, we don't have any earnings or dividend risk ahead of us. It is struggling, as yesterday it did open above and faded. It does look like the sellers are trying to break this down. But as long as it's above 272, don't care. I don't need it to break out to make money. I just need it to stay above 272. We'll send it. It's in a bullish trend and all that jazz. As long as we don't go into a nasty bear market here anytime soon, we'll be all right. Max loss is a big one. I wouldn't take the whole loss if possible. But it's still under 1% of the total account balance. It's a $900 loss. That's less than 1% of this account. So we're golden. We can eat the full loss, and it's a nothing burger. Love it. Next. What is this? UNFI. No weeklies. No point. Next. Lot of REITs. Lot of REITs. There's another semiconductor play. Veco. Probably not. Nope. These are decent looking charts though. Vert. Another trucking company. Warner. Wern. W-E-R-N. I don't know if they're going to make... They don't have weeklies either. I don't know if oil's going to pop or not. It definitely could affect that. WDC. Oh, this one we were looking at the other day. This one does have weeklies. Let's pull WDC up because this one was literally on the watch list the other day. We wanted it to do a specific thing. It did said specific thing. You're getting up and away from 436 now. We should have put this on already. We didn't. This thing has got freaking mad premium. All right. As long as we're above 434, we're okay with holding a short put. To be honest with you, we should have put this trade on yesterday. We wanted support to hold. We specifically talked about it on Tuesday. And I believe I said if it gaps up above today's high, which it did, then we can sell puts under 427. If you were able to do that, because you heard me discussing this on the public live stream on Tuesday, you're probably getting out of that trade today with more than 75% of that premium. And now if we put it on, it's kind of at resistance. If it just pulls back, we'll be setting in a loss. But if we could have got it off at the open or even before it got above yesterday's high, it would have still been a valid place to put it on. Not so much now. With this much premium. People are trading spreads like crazy in here. And it makes sense. It's $5 wide spreads. This is one you can do like that. Not bad. The higher you go, the better that gets too. If you get up into the 40 deltas, that's crazy though. You can see how that risk to reward gets so much better. This thing is a big mover. Obviously, that's why there's so much premium on these. But not down where we are looking, right? We were looking 8 days out. There's probably decent premiums on this 1 day out. I don't think you're going to get down to 454 though. Yeah, you're not. So we would have to do midpoint and hope for the best. That's too much risk. It could definitely reject here today and trade back down to the midpoint and close under it. Big mover. We should have put this on yesterday. Tis what it is. None of those look good. They're all kind of weak. That's the best looking chart on this whole page. And these all look kind of rough as well. Let's go look at Apple. I know Apple's got weeklies. Let's go look at it. Legitimately testing support right now. Apple is. Literally. Oop. Ooh, we got the pullback on MO. Oh, that might not be a good thing. Damn, MO gave all that back that quick. No. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. That's the open. We want it to stay above the quarterly open. So that was a good fill there. Something else got filled. I didn't see it. What was it? It was just MO? Okay. Whatever. Alright, Apple. Support right now is 302. 302.50. It's not bad, but a little light. Then we'll do 3 contracts. We're just looking for support to hold today. And even if it doesn't hold today, as long as tomorrow is a gap up, we'll be solid. Now, obviously, that assumes a lot, right? You're also seeing a little bit of risk happening now, probably. Yeah, S&P's coming off pretty aggressively now. The dollar is actually getting bid up here. I wonder if something happened. Let me see something. Oil is spiking. That's what's going on. Let me get oil up for you. So must be something happening Let's see if we got any news. Recent. That was 2 minutes ago. So Yemen's Houthi-run Saba news agency group targeted Aramco's refinery in Saudi Arabia. That's probably it. 22 minutes ago. So let's go see if that pop happened 20 minutes ago. No, it's literally been going up since this morning at 10:20. So an hour ago, this thing has been just straight up. So I don't know if it's a news event or not. But Apple probably less likely to hold support if the S&P sells off all day. But it's still worth putting it on. So maybe we'll just lower the contract size. 366. A little bit better. We'll see if we get that one off too. So we've got a few positions on and working here. GLD is getting beat up because dollar is spiking. The dollar is spiking a little bit. Not so much there over on the USD/JPY. Gold is right back to the lows. Like I said, those big violent spikes with that much aggression, it could be faded. It was faded. So our gold long's probably going to get stopped out. But that's okay, because I'm interested in buying it lower too. Yeah. Apple filled. Good to go. Oh, did not fill. Oh yeah, that one's gonna have to come back some to fill. Got it. Close that. STRC, how's it looking these days? Because we are long STRC. When did we get long STRC? At 87.37. Oh, completely off the map here. 87.37. So we must have bought it on this day here. Yeah, it looks like we bought it once we took out the prior day's high. It's doing good now. And this thing pays every 2 weeks. 12%. Can't argue with that. I'll take it. I wish I would have put on a bigger position, obviously, in hindsight, but it is what it is. All right. Texan, we put that on today. UNH we put on the other day. Let's go look at UNH. Eight days out. There's still plenty of premium on this. So let's see what it looks like. Naturally, this one's going to look rough on a 5-year chart because of, well, that. So it's struggling to hold a 5-year open. Funnily enough, it's rejecting this. But it's into support, right? Yeah, it is. It doesn't look good. It looks like the sellers are going to get a breakdown. So we may lose this one. But then again, we may not. It's not looking great, but I'll take my chances. 397 is what we want to hold. That's where we're short. So it could literally liquidate these swing lows and then bounce and head back up to resistance, which I can confidently say is for 1495. That's fine. As long as it's not down there by next Friday, we'll be able to take that one off. I like UNH more long term, and if it can recover above 414, I like it long term. Long term. Let's see if we're seeing any unusual volume activities. Absolutely not. That's why it's not doing anything. But you're building in a clear wedge here. It's not so clear, is it? Thanks to this crazy ass day right there. Yeah, I would just do a line chart. There you go. So a pop above this, that would look good. We'll see if it can do it in the next few days. Could do it next week. If it does, I'll put on more puts. I'll go out 15 days and do the same thing. Same strike. There's no point in doing it right yet, but you could literally take the trade today if you wanted to, as you're not under that level. This is the level here. As long as price is under 397.80, then that trade is at risk of failing. As long as price isn't under that line, we don't know what price will do. There's nothing that we can look at and say, oh, this is guaranteed going lower, or, oh, this is guaranteed going higher. People like to say stuff like that, but none of that. It doesn't work. So we'll see what happens. All right, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.